now at Sears, a Christmas of red ribbon values.
Joan has a garage door opener. So does Shirley. But when Shirley's light goes out like some, Joan stays on a full 4.5 minutes because hers is a Sears premium garage door opener. Besides the light, it has a vacation security switch, over 19,000 security codes, and it's now on sale for just $159.99.
To wrap up a beautiful Christmas, you can count on Sears.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Olympus Camera Corporation, manufacturers of quality 35mm cameras and accessories. Mercedes-Benz, engineered like no other car in the world. And by JCPenney Auto Centers and JCPenney Shop at Home catalog.
10-3 our halftime score as both teams coming back onto the field. We said at the top of the show, Fred Dreyer, this would be a showdown between Earl Campbell and also George Rogers. Rogers 98 yards in the first half. Campbell was 68.
Well, both teams are running their best runners. But like we said before, Kenny wants to throw the ball. And right toward the last quarter there, he was really starting to put the ball up and move the team. All he has to do is get the ball in the end zone via a pass, and I think he'll ignite his passing game.
Up to now, neither team able to throw the ball well. Let's take a look now at highlights of this first half. New Orleans was really moving the ball very effectively. They had one drive over 6 minutes, but Tucson Tyler has the ball stripped of him.
Yeah, one thing you have to do, all good runners here run with the ball loose like that for balance. But when you get around people, you got to make sure you tuck it away. And here's Robert Brazil doing what he does best, stripping the ball away. It's a big turnover for them.
That was a turnover at the 11-yard line, to be exact. But they were able then to come back, and Jack Holmes on a 9-yard run for the touchdown.
Yeah, if you're gonna play your 3-4 down inside the 10-15-yard line, you make sure you got your linebackers behind there, because all you have to do is pop in right between a seam there, and you're in the end zone.
Okay, then trying to come back, trailing 7-0. Ken Stabler looking, and Ken Bordelon makes a remarkable interception on this play.
I really don't believe he saw Kenny on that play. Bordelon makes a real good play, and and here's what I mean by being very, very disciplined. He stayed with his man. Now Kenny is trying to get something going here. He may have forced it a little bit, but I honestly don't think he saw Ken Bordelon.
Then after that, Tony Frisch, a 49-yard field goal. Ricardo kicked one of 46, and that brings us up to date.
Right.
What about the second half? You think Stabler still try to throw the football to establish that?
Well, they're still in the game. There's only a touchdown separating them. And if you look at the offense for the Saints, they've somewhat dominated play. But they're only a touchdown behind. I think Kenny wants to get the passing game going. And if he's going to lose a game, he's going to lose it doing what he does best.
Okay, let's look now at the statistics of this first half of play. You were talking about domination, and there it's pointed up. The Saints really got the better of it statistically.
Well, statistics do not really tell the tale on the scoreboard. They'll tell you how you're doing when you have the football. But what they have to do right now is come out. The Saints have to come out and play the same type of football they've been playing. And Houston, guided by Kenny Stabler, has to be able to get the ball in the end zone via the pass.
Time of possession, too, also going in favor of the Saints. And they have a 10-3 lead and will receive the kickoff to start the second half. Bum Phillips. Wonder what's going through his mind now. He has the lead. He'd like to win this football game. Playing in very, very familiar surroundings. And this man, Ed Biles, well, he has said, and you mentioned this in the first half, Fred, that he's put all this controversy behind him. I don't really believe that all the way. He's got to still be very much aware of all of this.
Well, if you're losing, then you might be cognizant of it. If you're winning, everything's great.
That's right. Tony Frisch kicking off. We start the second half. Rogers and Wilson back deep, and this will be Jimmy Rogers. Rogers has the corner for a moment, and he's going to make it to the 23 and really pound it out of bounds that time. Walter Tullis over there, one of the first men to get there defensively. Looked like Rogers really had some running room, but the Oilers reacted well. An 8-yard return, bringing the ball to the 24-yard line. There is Rogers, and there is Archie Manning. In that first half, Manning threw only 6 passes, 37 yards, and that's not up to Archie Manning's statistics that you're used to seeing. On the other hand, Stabler threw it 12 times, completed 5. First down at the 24. Holmes, Rogers, the running backs. Jeff Groth goes in motion. Rogers, and that'll give him, well, I guess he won't get him over 100 yards. He needed 2 to get there. Ken Kennard, KK is his nickname, made the stop, and he picked up only a yard on the play. 2nd and 9.
You know, his offensive lineman, George Rogers' offensive lineman, want him to get that yardage because that defines them and their jobs. If they can say, well, we were the line that helped George get all this yardage, it instills a lot of pride in that offensive line.
Now they go to that power I offense with Holmes and Tucson Tyler with Rogers in the backfield. Whoa, wait a minute. The right side firing off. Fred Sturt, number 68, left the mark prematurely. Looks like we'll have a 5-yard penalty against the New Orleans Saints. If Rogers goes over 100 yards, and he's only a yard away from that, it would be his 7th. The rookie record is 9. And that's held by O.J. Anderson.
I just think you have a little bit of eager people here. You see Tucson Tyler taking off and Jack Holmes taking off before the ball snap. They're anxious. They want to get into the Oilers.
And so the 5-yard penalty inside the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Ball start. Offensive line. Still 2nd down.
I think he's right. It wasn't just one guy in that particular play. So at the 19-yard line, it's going to bring up 2nd down now. 14 yards to go. Archie Manning, 11th year out of Mississippi. Archie last year had his best passing year ever. Look at that, 3,000 yards in each of the last 3 seasons. He'll be considerably below that this year, both due to the fact he's missed games and they don't throw the ball as much. Manning back on 2nd down and 14 to Holmes. Holmes is going to get back to about the original line of scrimmage, and that's all. Holmes out of bounds at the 23. Ted Washington. Washington covers much more effectively for Houston. He dropped some weight. He's weighing about 260. Got down to 248 pounds so he could do that.
They were running him in and out of the game, bringing him out on the passing situations and playing him hard against the run. But he came back from training camp with a great attitude of wanting to play the run as well as the pass. Ted Washington is a very, very improved football player in his 9th year, and he's playing very well at this present time.
Out of Mississippi Valley, a 9-year veteran. 3rd down, 10 yards to go. This time Holmes is the only running back behind Manning. Manning under some pressure. Trying to make the catch is a tight end, Larry Hardy. Manning had to hurry it just a little bit, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Gary, the Oilers went to a 4-man line, and I think what maybe one of the adjustments they made at halftime is to put more pressure on Archie in passing situations.
What they do is they'll bring Stensrud in. Sometimes they'll move Kennard to a defensive end. You got to watch him. They have different combinations when they go to that 4-man front. Erxleben is average at 38 yards. And deep, Carl Roaches. Roach is not a very big guy. He only stands 5'8", 165 pounds. Look out! What is this all about? It's picked up. The Oilers still trying to come up with it. Erxleben looked like he wanted to pass the football.
Gary, I honestly don't know what he was thinking about. I don't know what they had going.
I think he panicked. I don't think there was any play on. Let's look at it again in a minute because it looked like he just thought the rush was too heavy. But let's see.
Maybe he did. Here he is. Yeah, I have an idea. Peripherally, he saw the rush coming. He saw Carter Hartwig coming in there, and he just decided, I just soon take my chances of having a block. I just soon pull it down and run.
Well, they tried to pass, but there was nobody to pass to. Carter Hartwig with the pressure. 1st and goal for 3. Big turnover in this football game. Give to Earl Campbell, and Campbell is short. He'll be at the 1-yard line, 2nd and goal. Erxleben just panicked a little bit on that play.
It's really important now for Kenny to get his team into the end zone. At this point in time, it's a big break. It could change the complexion of the game.
We have a man hurt. Jerry Boyarsky is shaken up.
Yeah, I think he cramped up here.
Yeah, he's trying to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Boy, is that painful. And They're out there trying to help him out.
If it is a cramp, excuse me, Gary, if it is a cramp, what you want to do is extend the leg and point the toe upward and slowly stretch the muscle out. Let circulation get in there.
You know, you said something I thought was interesting. You feel when you play indoors, you dehydrate quicker.
Well, I think what it is because of, I don't think the air conditioning in these dome stadiums gets all of this oxygen that is being pumped out, and all this carbon dioxide that's being pumped out by all the people in the area. And over a period of time, it builds up and you start to dehydrate because the humidity level raises.
Let's look again at this play by Erxleben.
Yeah, I think he saw the pressure from his right, our left right there. That's why he did that. And I think the safest thing to do is go ahead and kick the football. Now, if he can pull it and get away, then that's more power to him. But right now, he's the GOAT on the play.
Boyarsky comes out. Monty Bennett has replaced him at nose tackle. 2nd and goal. From the 1, Campbell. And he's in. Touchdown. Campbell just reaching across the goal line that time for the touchdown. And Earl Campbell has now scored his 6th touchdown rushing.
That makes him feel a lot better. When he gets in the end zone, that picks the spirits up of everybody associated with the team. I'll tell you, if he can get in the end zone a couple times today, it'll make everybody very much happier. He just turns and gives the ball to Earl. See, out of this I formation, this set back here, he just goes outside. And he cuts up underneath his blocking, and he's strong enough when he does come in contact down here to get up the field. That's what's great about running backs like that.
Tony Frisch, point after attempt. As you look again, you can see Gary came up and met him, but he was just strong enough to take him in.
Yeah.
And Tony Frisch, the point after. And we're all tied up. 10-10. 13-17 left in this 3rd quarter. Earl Campbell coming out, congratulating his teammates for the blocking up front. Also, Tim Wilson, the big fullback. We've got a lot of football here at the Astrodome.
The engineers of Mercedes-Benz have created an advanced diesel power system. Its heart, this compact turbocharger. And this system has just transformed 2 more diesels into high-performance turbo diesels. Mercedes-Benz unleashes the 300D sedan and the 300 CD coupe. Now with 45% more power. The 300D sedan and the 300 CD coupe. The 2 newest turbo diesels from Mercedes-Benz.
This is the automatic Olympus OM2. OM2, top of the new world of single-lens reflexes. Sophisticated, precise, world's first camera to measure light off the film for electronically accurate exposures. The revolutionary OM2. Olympus, camera of professionals, of all who demand no less than excellence. Take no pictures less than great. Olympus OM2, excellence by design.
Tonight, a 3-hour CBS special movie presentation. It's Walt Disney's Academy Award-winning hit, Mary Poppins.
Kicking off now will be Frisch. It's all even now, 10 apiece. Rogers, Wilson back deep. A critical mistake. Erxleben, a lot of pressure on him, having to eat the football, and Earl Campbell taking over from there. Wayne Wilson. Wilson to the 26-yard line. Nice tackle that time by Tullis. Let's go back to the touchdown run by Earl Campbell.
Now, conversely, speaking on defense, now Earl makes a great run, but now what you want to do defensively in this short area here is once you meet the ball carrier like this, you want all the piles to go backwards. Now they jumped on him and gang tackled him, but he went the wrong way. You want to get in front of him and make all the piles go backwards. There's Earl right before we went to commercial after that touchdown. He was out on the field shaking hands with his offensive lineman, so they're starting to generate a little enthusiasm.
I don't think anybody's moved Earl Campbell backwards very often. 70 yards for Campbell. 10-10. The line of scrimmage, the 26-yard line. Manning gives to Holmes, nothing doing, and the Oilers right now are fired up. A little pushing and shoving going on, and one of the officials right in the middle of it. Robert Brazil, a little upset about something. I don't think I'd mess with Brazil. They were saying in practice this week, he was on just a little pattern that they were running, picked up Carl Rogers, just slammed him down, and then had to excuse himself for being so rough.
Yeah, it's like that proverbial guy who loves you to death, literally. Robert Brazil sets the tempo out there on defense, and how he goes is how everybody else goes.
He was in the Pro Bowl for the 5th straight time last year. 2nd down, 9 for New Orleans. Right now, the momentum has shifted in this game. Houston trying to take advantage of the fact they've tied it up. Manning with time. Larry Hardy, the tight end, 30, and Hardy did a pretty good job of just getting to the 33-yard line. He's going to be short of the first down by 3. Darrell Hunt covering on the play. Manning didn't have anybody open deep. Hardy, the big tight end out of Jackson State. He's had a very good year. He's already surpassed the catches that he had last year. He had 13 all of 1980. 33-yard line brings up 3rd down, still 3 yards to go. Now the Oilers have made some changes. They get Bethea out of there. And coming in is Jesse Baker. Baker, excellent rusher. He's number 75. Really noisy now. 3rd down and 3. Manning going deep to Wayne Wilson. He's behind him. And we have pass interference. Vernon Perry is back there. You know what's interesting about that? Perry had his hand raised up. Does he think it's offensive pass interference?
Well, I think our friend Hunt just told him it was against him.
I don't think he knew it.
And someone had sent him a telegram and tell him it was on him. Yeah.
He acted like he didn't even really know that the call was against him. He had his hand and fist raised in the air. That will be a 38-yard play with the penalty. Huh. Either that or he knew it and he just was going to play it low key. I don't know. Now he's getting a little upset.
Wayne Wilson's got everybody beat. He has to wait on the ball just a little bit. And I think what happens, Vernon right here runs into him. But you know something? They're both going for the football. But what I think they're going to call is he shielded him.
Wait a minute. They start this play, and somebody moved on the right side of that New Orleans line again. So they will bring the play back. Turns out to be a big play, a 38-yard gain to the 30, but the penalty evidently going to go against New Orleans. Illegal motion again. It's the right side of the line that left again. Vernon Perry is arguing his cause now. Back at the 15-yard line.
Just a little late, Vernon.
Just a little. Vernon, you know, has had to tone down his play. He's been so aggressive. I guess the Canadian Football League, they let you be a little more aggressive up there.
Well, I think also when you come from the Canadian Football League, it's supposed to be a little bit more inferior. You want to do well down here in the NFL.
Illegal motion, number 85, offense, repeat, first down.
That's Hobie Brenner. So it'll be 1st and 15 from the 35.
All right, here's Vernon. Now, we said earlier, Wayne's got it. Wayne Wilson has him beat. Vernon runs into him now. That's where they called it. They both went for the ball, but he ran into him.
Back to the live action, 1st and 15 from the 35. Manning, wide open, Merkins. J.C. Wilson will have a penalty flag. He reached in on Merkins. That was a very well-thrown football.
It was a very well-thrown football, and J.C. Wilson knows he was wrong. Yeah, that was a good call. He grabbed his arm. You'll see it here, I hope.
You wonder, Wilson playing with that dislocated elbow, just how effective he can be.
Number 33, defense, first down.
Crowd obviously very upset. Look at that elbow, how it's wrapped.
A very nice pass by Archie, and you'll see him right there reach up with his right hand. Yeah, there he is. See him grab his left arm. You know, JC's taken an awful lot of heat because of the fact he's been abused so much over in the corner. But let me tell you something. To be able to play that position with that injury, that guy is some athlete. He's got to be very mentally tough. He's doing a very good job.
Houston on the short end of the penalties. Look at that, 6 for 87. That's a 19-yard pickup to the 16. First down. Larry Hardy in motion. George Rogers. Rogers breaks a tackle. And his forward progress to the 12-yard line. He kind of got bent backwards on that one. But again, he has that ability to avoid the first tackler. picking up some hard yardage on that play. Give him 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7 from the 12-yard line. 10:52 left in this third quarter. 10-all is our score. Rodgers now with 7 100-yard games. Again, the rookie record is 9. I would think he might get that.
He's got a good shot at it, doesn't he?
2nd and 7. This crowd, a really hostile crowd right now. They don't like those 2 penalties. Rodgers again. He's inside the 10.
Out and grabbing him. That threw him off balance. And George prefers, I guess, to have a loose jersey where he can feel free to move around in.
107 yards for the rookie, who has to be the leading candidate for Rookie of the Year. Tucson Tyler jumps into a wing. 3rd down and 2. Rodgers, he's got it. 1st and goal inside the 5. And did he come off the ball that time? He was catapulted out of there. I don't think you can run any harder than that.
You know, he is really something, because you don't get a lot of real good backs who come into the National Football League and read as well as he does, especially his rookie year. But George really likes that I formation. We said earlier, and I'll probably say the rest of the game, I'll point this out to you, that he really likes to come off the I formation because he gets a chance to see where he's going.
1st and goal. The ball at the 2-yard line. Rodgers and Holmes are running backs. Here's Jack Holmes, and Holmes has taken it in. That's his 2nd touchdown. Jack Holmes has scored his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. Again, they're looking for Rodgers, and Holmes has taken advantage of it.
Yeah, one complements the other, Gary, and if you got the guys who can do that and take the pressure off of one another like that, it's a real good benefit for your offense. It's important now to get good leg drive offensive line-wise. And the rest is Jack Holmes.
Hey, they were arguing about whether he got in. Did he make it in? Now we got a penalty flag, and I think it's going to follow an argument, because Houston was vehemently arguing. They thought Holmes didn't get in. Elvin Bethea was over there pleading his case.
I think perhaps a little verbal abuse.
Might be exactly what it was, because the penalty then, the flag thrown just as the Saints returned to the line of scrimmage. We're not laughing, but well, we've got the flag. They pick it up, and they're saying that there was a personal foul on both sides, I believe.
Bum wants to know who was it on. That's what I'd like to know.
Anyway, I started to say we're not laughing at him, because this is a very serious moment.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 65, defense. The offense elected not to take the penalty yardage.
That was Bethea. We mentioned he was really after one of the officials, and they called him for it. Ricardo, point after attempt. Myers holding. And Ricardo has given this Houston team, I should say this New Orleans team, a 17-10 lead. A very impressive drive, following on the heels of a shaky moment after Erxleben had all that trouble with the punt.
There's a new day dawning, America.
Today, we're all working to brighten America's energy future. And Sun, an energy company for nearly a century, is helping by developing new sources of oil, natural gas, synthetic fuels, and coal right here at home.
America, Sun is helping to make a new day.
Sun, a lot of energy under one name.
At JCPenney Auto Centers, we won't steer you wrong. We will steer you to the amazing JCPenney Mileage Maker XP All-Season Steel-Belted Radial for great traction in any road conditions. And right now, save $40 to $100 on a set of 4. The Mileage Maker XP with the unique interlock block tread. Season in, season out. The only tire you need. Only at JCPenney.
JCPenney Auto Centers, we won't steer you wrong.
17-10, New Orleans with the lead after being tied up. They've come back, a very impressive drive that last time, culminated on that touchdown run by Holmes. As you look at Tallis and Roaches, they're trying to figure out how to get the football. People have been kicking it away from them all year long. There's Erxleben. That was a 74-yard drive that time. 5 plays, 2 big penalties, 2 pass interferences, keeping the drive going. There's Buffet, the veteran who may retire this year. There's the time on the drive. Buffet, they will retire his number 65, when he does decide to hang it up.
They should, Gary. He's been a great player for them over the years. He's played 14 years. I think that's long enough.
I think that's exactly right. That's a long time in this league, right? Especially for defensive ends.
Well, they're your best athletes, Gary. And I've said it so many years before that your best athletes are on defense. And you usually find them out there on the ends.
I've learned a lot this year from you.
It's interesting, isn't it?
It really is interesting. Not always accurate, but it's interesting.
Well, that's speculative.
From the 35, Erxleben will kick. Roaches and Tallis back. Erxleben does the punting, kicking off. Ricardo does the place kicking. After a while, we're going to take another look at that touchdown, the controversy that ensued. It's a funny kick, kind of a squibber type. Tallis able to come up with it. And he's trying to get to the far side. Look out. And there's what you worry about. Tallis, just a superb kickoff return man, and he just bolted to the outside. Scott Stauk made the tackle at the 35-yard line. Boy, is he quick. 18-10. Pittsburgh now leading Cleveland in that game. Franco Harris, a 2-yard touchdown run. And that means that Pittsburgh will have a very difficult game next week against Los Angeles, win or lose. They'd like to win their 7th. That'll be next week right here on CBS. Pittsburgh trying to stay alive in the playoffs in the AFC Central. From the 35-yard line, Earl Campbell. Campbell, first down, 50. He's to the 47-yard line. He ran through the arms of rookie Jackson. Earl Campbell bringing this team right back to the 46 of the Saints.
Here we go. Give it to your best guy. There's Earl. See, out of the eye? He follows his blocking perfectly and hits the crease. Boy, it's amazing to me how these guys can see the holes that they see.
Now let's go back to that touchdown by Jack Holmes.
Here's the play again. Now, there's some speculation of where he scored on this play. I think he did, and you can see right there, his helmet. Anytime you cross that plane, you're in there for 6.
Well, where's the football? Campbell now with 89 yards after that last run of 19 yards. This time he got a yard, and that's all. Be 2nd down and 9. We understand. Are you ready for this? That Pittsburgh-Cleveland game, David Trout missed his 3rd point after touchdown in that game.
Holy smoke.
They lead at 18-10.
Tom Dempsey, where are you?
That's amazing. You could miss 3 in one game. That could haunt him before it's over.
They may bring Tom Dempsey back.
From the 45. 2nd down and 9. Ken Burrow has been shut out in this game. Mike Holston also split out. Stabler over the middle. That's the tight end again, Dave Casper, and Casper to the 40. That'll be 4 yards short of the first down.
Gary, you saw Kenny make a real good adjustment here. He sensed that they were coming up the middle, and he waited till they got in and looked for Casper. Casper also read when the linebackers get too close to the line of scrimmage. You have a sense, there's a feeling that you get when somebody's coming like that, and he read very well. These two guys, like I said before, were teammates at Oakland, so they know each other pretty good.
Dave Casper, well off of his pace of a year ago, however, when he caught 56. 3rd down. Campbell. And Campbell's not going to get the first down. It's going to bring up a 4th down, and they're a yard short. A gritty defensive effort that time by New Orleans. Well, do you go for it now on 4th down? The crowd, you know what they want.
They want to go for it. I think they should go for it. I like to see them do it.
Edgar Armstrong coming in. Holston comes out, so they're evidently going to go for it.
You know, if you can't make it with Earl, I don't think you're going to make it with anybody else except maybe George Rogers.
Well, they've got the good field position at the 37. Still 6 minutes, just a little over 6 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. The crowd getting to their feet. In motion, Armstrong. Campbell, he's not going to get it. Now, wait a minute. Eloise Groom's hitting first. He then fought his way forward. Imagine where they spotted the ball. That's what you got to do right now. Where have they spotted it?
No, I think Saints held him.
You know, I thought so, but then he stumbled forward after that. That's the thing about Campbell. You don't know if he put him out or not, whether you've been able to stop him. They're looking. They may have to measure.
You know, one point on this type of a play, Gary, is, you know, out of the I formation, it takes such a long time for the guy to get to the line of scrimmage on short yard situations that if you allow any type of defensive seepage at all, it's going to be tough to get to the line of scrimmage. Now, see how far deep they are? Now, Earl it takes him a long time after the ball is snapped to get the ball. So he gets the ball 5 yards deep from the line of scrimmage. And if the defensive line gets in any type of penetration at all, it stops the play.
Well, they didn't make it, but you could see it was a great effort by Earl Campbell.
Rainmaker to ground.
Hey, Rainmaker. One more, how to do it?
Raj picking us up a refill. Tell that fire not to go anywhere.
Bullseye, you got it.
Does that mean it's Miller time?
Roger.
Miller time.
Well, it's time to relax.
Time for the best tasting beer you can find.
Beer stands clear.
Miller High Life.
If you got the time, Miller's got the beer.
These are nice diesel cars. Get good mileage, carry people comfortably. Now this Toyota diesel truck is nice too. It gets fantastic truck mileage. And this tough Toyota diesel truck can carry 2 people comfortably and 1,000 pounds of feed, or 1,000 pounds of wire, or 110 gallons of milk, or camping and fishing gear for 2 weeks. Delivers like a diesel, works like a truck.
Wednesday, Shannon gets caught between an arsonist, an old enemy, and a beautiful woman. Shannon, Wednesday at 10, 9 Central and Mountain.
Bum Phillips has to be pleased with that last play. His team holding on a 4th and 1. They stopped Earl Campbell. They have the ball now at the 37-yard line and a 7-point lead. A lot of time left in this game. 5:56 in the third. Larry Hardy in motion. Rogers, there he goes. The 40-yard line, a pickup of 4. It'll bring up a 2nd down. You know, we talk about Rogers, but we got to take stock, Fred, of that offensive line. Brock, Adams, Sturt, Taylor. They have done a very good job because Rogers is coming off the ball well and has some running room to do that.
George is coming off the ball so well. You get the feeling that he has a great deal of confidence, not only in his own ability, which he obviously does, but the ability of his linemen in front of him.
2nd down, about 7, maybe a long 6 to go. Manning to Rogers again. Rogers fighting for the 1st down. There's a penalty flag. He's very close to the 1st down, but you can see the yellow flag at the bottom of that pile. Rogers got a big block up front that time that turned the corner for him, holding against the Saints. And oh, Bum did not like that one. Last week, Bum got a bum call,
so to speak. Yeah, he's been on the tail end of a lot of bad calls lately, I suppose.
And one last week when they had the interception, called back the inadvertent whistle.
This is a new term. It goes right along with parody, doesn't it? Inadvertent parody.
Holding, number 87, offense, repeat, 2nd down.
That's Larry Hardy, the tight end. 2nd down now, 9.
You know, as soon as the flag was dropped, Robert Brazil threw his arm down like he knew that was the play and walked right back to about the 25-yard line. And I believe Larry Hardy was holding Robert Brazil. I think he's been doing that a lot. Robert doesn't like it.
Rogers comes out of the ball game, as does Holmes. Tucson Tyler, the only running back. 3 wideouts, one of whom is Wilson. Wilson, Merkins, and Gross split out. Tucson Tyler gets away from Kennard, and he's able to make it to the 40, possibly the 41. No question they thought they were going to come out throwing on that play and crossed him up. Tyler moving out across the 40. It's still going to be 6 yards short of a 1st down. 3rd down coming up. Archie really was glad to get back in the lineup. He died 1,000 deaths in that LA game. He wanted to play out there so bad. And then last week against Minnesota, I guess he could have played last week.
He could have played. I saw him in the locker room before the game, and he says he was stretching out his stomach. And I said, "What are you doing down there?" He said, "Well, I'm just stretching it out a little bit. It gets sore and it gets tight." But he says, "I'm ready to go. I could have played last week, but I feel good, real good right now."
Third down. Again, they have 3 wideouts. One of them is Wilson in motion. Third down and 7. Wide open is Merkins. 40, 35 to the 30, all the way to the 25-yard line. Archie Manning with a flick of the wrist hit Merkins over the middle. J.C. Wilson made the stop. A first down to the 25, a 35-yard pickup.
There's an ex-Oiler having a good day so far. Archie does a good job now. He's got a lot of people coming up the gut on his face, and he kind of quickly gets it out there. And Guido gets the ball and just runs up the field for all the yardage he can get. Before you got Vernon Perry jumping on him and Stemrick and all those guys.
So Guido Merkins with that 35-yard catch. Boy, that's got to be exciting for him, playing against his former teammates. At the 25-yard line, the Saints on the move. 4:12 to go, third quarter. They come to the power I backfield this time. Give to Rodgers. Rodgers has little running room this time. He picked up a yard. Ted Washington, the man that concerned the Saints coming into this game, made a fine tackle that time.
Tucson Tyler went the wrong way. He took off. He thought they were going left, so he went left, and the other 2 guys went right.
That'll confuse the defense.
Yeah. You better have it. That's a tough one to explain to George Rodgers.
Yeah. Rodgers was running with nobody ahead of him, and that's the reason they had that power eye in the first place. Get those lead backs in there. They come out into the power eye again. 2nd and 9. Tucson Tyler, and Tyler leg drives his way inside the 20. Good effort. There's Washington Husky back, and it's going to come to a third down and still 3 yards to go. Tyler, the man they hope will gain about 20 pounds in the offseason. Has quite a career ahead of him. He's one of the many fine rookies. 12 of them they got in the draft, a 9th-round draft pick.
Well, if he stays in New Orleans in the offseason, eating that food down there, he's going to gain his 20 pounds.
That's an interesting point, because Bum has made quite a plea to his team to get more people to move down there in the offseason.
Yeah, I think he's right about that. When you're around together, you all work out together, and it's kind of like a peer pressure to work out.
Third down, 4 to go. Hobie Brenner goes in motion. George Rodgers on the pitch. And did Rodgers get it? It's going to be close. Inside the 15, Robert Brazil bulldogged him down. That was quite a match. Brazil against Rodgers.
Well, Bingham,
he's upset about something. He threw his helmet down.
The hat doesn't fit.
They're going to measure to see if he got it.
I think George got it.
Rodgers kind of holding his side,
Boy,
and he did get it.
Robert Brazil jumped on him like he jumped out of an airplane. Boy, he landed on him.
And that's what Rodgers is complaining about now. I think that knocked some of the air out of him. He's going to come out of the ball game. Tyler replacing. 128 yards now for Rodgers on 24 carries. You know, he could win this rushing title. He was 7 yards behind Tony Dorsett coming into today.
You know what would be great for Bum's program is to have George win that title. Boy, would that pick up their program.
He's still battling to win the Rookie of the Year. Lawrence Taylor of New York, Joe Delaney of Kansas City battling him for that honor. Manning gives off to Tyler, and Tyler close to the 10-yard line. Greg Bingham, who threw his helmet down, got it back on in time to make the tackle.
I hate to tackle anybody without a helmet.
Other scores in the NFL. Kansas City. Boy, what a year they're having. 20-6. Seattle, of course, that big shocker Monday night. St. Louis, not easy against Baltimore. They shut out Buffalo. Baltimore scored 10 today, and Buffalo leads New England. Big game in the East, of course, today between Miami and the New York Jets. 2nd down. A long 6. Rodgers. Look at the cut by Rodgers. There's a penalty flag. Rodgers averted a long loss on that play and picked up a yard instead. But a penalty flag is down. Boy, that cutback ability. It's going to be holding against the Saints.
I wonder if it's Larry Hardy again. Robert Brazil acting a little outraged. It could have been on him. Let's see who it's on.
You notice how the New Orleans Saints are getting kind of a Texas look. How many of the staff now wearing cowboy boots and belt buckles and hats?
Greg Suit, their PR guy, has a belt buckle. Looks like an Oldsmobile hubcap. Can't believe how big that thing is.
Bum is transplanting the Texas flavor down into the Bayou country. There's Bum. Delightful guy.
Holding. Number 87, offense. Repeat, second down.
You saw that,
yes,
Fred.
sir. Larry Hardy. Yeah. Where can we find Larry Hardy? There's Larry Hardy, right side there, holding on. Look at how he's holding on to Brazil right there. It just drives him out of the way. There's the flag.
After the penalty, it's now 2nd and 16 for Manning. 1:20 left in this third quarter. 17-10, the Saints with the lead. Manning over the middle, Wayne Wilson. A flag, he caught it anyway. Touchdown. The penalty flag was going against Houston. But wait a minute, there's another penalty flag at the 17-yard line also. We have 2 penalty flags down. I think the one in the end zone apparently is against Houston, but what's this other one about?
I think they're going to bring it back. Greg Bingham's got his helmet off again, so I think it's against...
No, it's a touchdown.
Really?
Pass interference. Number 37 defense. Holding. Number 33 defense. Both penalties declined. Touchdown.
What a beautiful pass. You know, he's been running the ball down here now, and now he decides to change it up a little bit and go right into the end zone. A little pump to get the safety out of the way, and lays it up there and lets Wayne Wilson run under it. Look at Wayne Wilson go up for the football. You know, you can coach certain things, but there's an instinct that you have as a receiver as opposed to a runner. Certain runners aren't good receivers.
Archie Manning with his 4th touchdown pass. Benny Ricardo adds the point after. It's a 24-10. Let's go back, pick up the penalty on this play, which of course the Saints refused.
Okay, Arch, a little pump fake to get the safety going out of the way, and lays it up there, right there. You see, I think he pulled his hand. I think Mike Reinfeldt took his right hand and pushed it up inside of his shoulder pads and interfered with him. To no avail, it stands, a touchdown.
Wilson with a great concentration on the catch.
Dear Atari Anonymous, ever since my husband Luno returned from Earth with Asteroids, the new Atari home video game, he and the rest of the family do nothing but play Asteroids. Luno says Asteroids is good practice for his interplanetary flights.
Bitty bitty, bitty bitty.
Tell me, dear Atari Anonymous, with everybody hooked on Asteroids, what on earth is a poor Martian mother to do?
New Atari Asteroids, now available for your home.
GMC is a big name in trucks with a lot behind it. Like the new GMC C1500 pickup, which offers a new optional 6.2-liter diesel engine designed exclusively for trucks. And GMC's new S15, the little rig, with a standard 4 or available with an optional V6 engine that can deliver economy and be quick about it. GMC, the name tells you right up front, trucks are what we're all about.
Wayne Wilson, after that 22-yard touchdown catch, Archie Manning said he's most familiar with him as a receiver, has high hopes for him. And it's now a 24-10 game. Tullis returning this Hertzlegen kickoff. He is something. He is going to be dropped this time, though, to 12. But you hold your breath if you're the other team every time he gets one of those kicks. Jimmy Rogers in on the stop. Again, we at CBS very excited about the debut next week of NCAA basketball. Be sure to check your local listings. Michigan against Arkansas and Georgia. Dominic Wilkins, one of the most exciting players in college basketball. San Francisco feels they have the finest guard in the country in Quentin Daly. So be sure and be with us. The season premiere of NCAA basketball right here on CBS. All the way to the championships in March in the Superdome in New Orleans. Back to throw, Ken Stabler on first down. Blocked. That was Billy Brooks, who they just picked up this week on waivers from San Diego, and Brooks should have had that one.
Boy, that hurts. You know, Kenny's trying to get something going, like I said earlier in the game, with his passing game. It's just so frustrating for him to have people drop balls and not be able to generate any type of pass offense.
Well, the Snake going to have to retool. They're in a catch-up mode now. 24-10, 57 seconds to go in the third quarter. They don't have time to do a lot of running. They have to strike. Here's Campbell, and look at the reaction that time by Rob Nairn, also Monty Bennett. Bennett is quite a story as you look at Rob Nairn. Bennett was picked up as a free agent from Kansas State just because his college coach pleaded for New Orleans to take him. Another score, 30-0. What has happened to the Packers?
Wow.
Well, Whitehurst was hurt. Rich Campbell came in, the rookie quarterback, and he had a pass picked off and went 81 yards the other way, and then things started to come apart. Tampa Bay, with that win, will go against the Saints in the Superdome. That'll be a tough one for Tampa Bay, the way these Saints are playing. Next week on CBS. Stabler, Holston, the rookie, and they're out of a hole. Ken Stabler gets them out of a hole to the 35-yard line to the rookie, Mike Holston, their third-round draft pick, who played only 2 years of college football at Morgan State. He was an All-American hurdler in junior college.
It's really good now. It's a real good opportunity now for the guy in the slot. Holston runs down and goes to the open area. It's a good time for him to show his wares now. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see Kenny come back to him. That's the first big pass play they've had this game.
27-yard gain. That's the end of the third quarter with the score. New Orleans 24, Houston 10. We'll be back with the final 15 minutes here in the Astrodome after we take this break.
Kodacolor 2 film for prints captures all the colors you can imagine. Brilliant yellows and greens, from luscious watermelon to radiant peacock. Spectacular blues, from indigo to blueberry you can taste. Vivid reds, from rose to flame. More colors than your eyes can see. The more you care about color, the more you need Kodacolor 2 film from Kodak, America's storyteller.
Presenting the new Toyota Supra and Dan Gurney. It takes the right stuff to make a great performance car. Come ride with Dan Gurney and see.
It's quick off the line. That's the twin-cam fuel-injected engine. Now let's see the independent four-wheel suspension in action. Handles well. Nice brakes.
The new Toyota Celica Supra.
That's the right stuff.
Supra!
Toyota! Thanksgiving Day, feast your eyes on CBS Sports as the Chicago Bears face the Dallas Cowboys, starting with a special holiday edition of the NFL Today, live at 3:30 Eastern on CBS. CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Toyota, who invite you to see all the 1982 Toyota cars and trucks at your local dealer. Oh, what a feeling to drive a Toyota. And by Lowenbrau. When it's time for the taste of a truly great beer, let it be Lowenbrau.
We start this fourth quarter of play. From the 36-yard line, Houston down by 14 points. Just completed a 27-yard pass. Stabler back again. And he has his man Ken Burrow, the veteran, who's been shut out today, but he comes up with a catch there for the first down. Stabler threw that ball a long ways to the far side of the field.
It was a difficult pass because it was very well timed. If the timing is off at all, that ball's an intercepted pass for a touchdown. Here he is. Kenny now isn't going to waste any time. He's coming back, dropping back, and looking right for Burrow. Nice pass, and the pass was out away from him, away from the defender. Here's a better shot of it. You see how deep the defender is? If that ball is slow in getting there, that's 6 points for the defense.
Johnny Poe, the man coming up and reacting, but not until it's an 18-yard pickup. Stabler in trouble this time, and the veteran's going to have to eat the football at the 45. Kenny doing a pretty good job trying to get an additional second or two. We saw him on film in a game, and he actually looked like a running quarterback. dancing around, ducking people, but this time he loses yardage back to the 45.
These things are very untimely, and it's very frustrating for Ken. Notice, I'll tell you something, his demeanor, his concentration ability under this type of pressure is very, very encouraging. You see Ricky Jackson missed it, and then Monty Bennett comes in and gets him. But it's important now for him to pop up out of the ground, go back into the huddle, and get on with his offense.
There's the sacks. New Orleans with 3, which gives him 21 for the year. Second down, 17 yards to go. Stabler 8 of 16 for 99 yards. Earl Campbell doing a good job with the ball, gets it to the 50. They're still going to be about 11, maybe 12 yards short of the first down. But Earl Campbell got some additional yardage just on good open field running. Making the stop was Frank Warren, the big rookie out of Auburn, who had the touchdown call back last week. And from the 50-yard line, Stabler still an uphill struggle. Third down, 12.
Gary, you know the defense is playing well when you get 2 of your 4 defensive linemen peeling back off 10, 15 yards down the line to make the play. That's a real good sign of a team hustling with their defensive line and make those plays.
Campbell already has caught more balls this year than any time of his career, season-wise. Stabler going deep. Holston, he's got it. Touchdown. He ducks back the football, but I see a penalty flag at the 7-yard line. I think it's going to go against New Orleans, however.
Oh, Gary, this is exactly what they've got to have, and I'll tell you something. There's a lot of determination in that guy right there.
Number 49, defense.
What a beautiful, and that was Mike Holston making that catch.
That's his first touchdown catch of what could be quite a career.
Boy, is that a great play.
50. That was a penalty on Frank Watlett, but there was really after the fact. He had the ball all the way.
It's just a slot pattern. He goes down. You see the inside guy. That's Mike Holston. He runs down and reads as he goes, accelerates, and he knows he's got the safety beat. He knows he's got Frank Watlett beat, and the ball's a little short, but he makes a good adjustment to it and coming back and fighting for the ball. That's good to see out of a guy like that.
That's the second consecutive week now that Stabler's thrown a 50-yard touchdown pass. Last week he threw one to Ken Burrow. Now Holston comes up with it, and they're right back into this football game.
That type of play by a rookie like that can really ignite a team. They need that type of play from him.
A 50-yard strike to this young rookie, the speedster from Morgan State.
Next Saturday, get into the spirit as NCAA basketball premieres on CBS Sports. Now through the National Championship, go one-on-one with CBS Sports. This is CBS.
Derek Dawes, they're happy about.
She's very excited. I think she's excited about a spike that my friend Mike Holston put on that. Here it is again. He put a nice spike on the old goalpost there. He goes up for the ball. He fought for that football. That's good concentration. And here he is. These girls go crazy when a guy goes up.
And then he spikes the ball.
Whoa! 2 points.
His first touchdown in the NFL. He'll remember that a long time.
That's very contagious. I wouldn't be surprised to see old Frisch kick this thing out of the end of the end zone.
Tony Frisch to kick off. 12:45 left in the game. Going to be Wayne Wilson who'll bring it up the field. And look how fired up they are. That's some of that momentum provided by that 50-yard touchdown pass. And now the Saints. They earlier had this situation staring him in the face, able to move the ball and go in for a touchdown. And again, the momentum has switched to Houston's favor. And at the 13-yard line, that's where New Orleans will have it. There's that drive. Didn't take very long with that 50-yard touchdown pass. Archie Manning have to reorganize this offense. Power I formation. Rodgers the 16 to the 17-yard line. Looked like he had a lot of running room, and all of a sudden it was closed down by Houston. He's getting up slowly. He really took a shot on that play. He was belted very hard. He's getting up. Boy, this guy's tough, though. Look at him.
He's a young man, and he's got that youthful exuberance, but I'll tell you, you cannot hit that ground too many times like he just hit it and give up. You know, it's really important now. Not only have to gang tackle this fellow right here, 38, George Rogers, but the whole Oiler defense now has to take control of the game. They're back in the game. They see that Kenny is throwing the ball well. And let's get off the field and let Kenny do it again.
2nd down and 5. Where we have this break, let's check now. Another score in the National Football League. Detroit beating Chicago 16-7. That now is in the 3rd quarter of play. And that brings us to Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. The NFL today, and then your Turkey Day special, Chicago against Dallas. Remember, Chicago last year won on Turkey Day.
And 2 great backs in that game.
And Dave Williams took a kickoff 95 yards in overtime. 2nd and 5. Wayne Wilson now in place of Rodgers, and Wilson has scored number. And it is bedlam here. Really noisy.
Now, Gary, look at that Robert Brazil. Now, he's going to lead. He's the spiritual leader of that team, and they really rally around him. If they can start making plays like that, this game will change now back into the favor of Houston.
Jeff Grove comes in. Tucson Tyler comes out. It's going to be 3rd down still. 7. Let's make it 8 yards to go. There he is. Mojo.
Climbed down off his derrick.
What positions he play? 3rd down, 8 yards to go. Manning, big play for the Oilers, or I should say the Saints, and the receiver falling down. A penalty flag. A penalty flag has been thrown. The receiver, Guido Merkins at the 40-yard line, tripped, or either was tripped. Looks like he must have been tripped. That'll be another costly pass interference against Houston if it holds.
Pass interference, number 33, defense, 1st down.
Boy, does that get him out of the hole.
Boy, I'll tell you, I really feel for this guy right here. J.C. Wilson, he's just having a tough year and a tough day.
So instead of having to kick the ball back at your goal line, they have a 25-yard pickup to the 39-yard line. Boy, does this place get noisy when the crowd starts going after it. The noise cannot escape here. And now the crowd, all of a sudden, setting back, a little bit stunned by that play. Archie Manning able to get him out of the hole any way you can do it, right?
They need a big defensive play now. They can't let the Saints dictate to them.
Tucson Tyler goes in motion. Flag, penalty flags everywhere. Just before that ball was snapped, they threw him in the air. We still have a lot of time left in this game. 11 minutes and 5 seconds. Illegal procedure against the Saints. Look at Bingham. He's got his hat off again. He has his helmet off as much as he has it on.
I can't believe it. He's doing a Gene Upshaw imitation. Gene Upshaw and Greg Bingham have their hats off more than anybody in the National Football League put together.
Just so they remember to put them on, right?
Yeah.
Before the ball to snap. Could be a problem. 5-yard step off to the 34.
Ball start. Number 61, offense, still 1st down.
That's the veteran, Sam Adams. Bum's team now with a 7-point lead. It'll be 1st and 15 from the 34. Dave LaFari is now in there. LaFari is playing in place of J.T. Taylor, that left tackle spot. Pittsburgh now with a 25-10 lead. Give to Rodgers. Rodgers back in, and Rodgers gets it across the 40 to the 41. 9 yards short of the 1st down. Again, though, it shows you the durability of this man. He was shaken up. He comes back, still running just as hard. I think the biggest reservation some people have about Rodgers is if he can sustain this. for the next 2, 3, 4 years.
That's a real good point you brought out there. He may want to get together with Earl Campbell in the offseason, talk about his offseason training or the way he handles himself, because it really makes a big difference what your offseason programs are.
Second down, 9 yards to go. Tyler in motion again. Manning to Rogers. Rogers to the 44 and a late penalty flag. Darryl Skogstad made the stop for Houston, but a flag was thrown after really the play had come to a close. It's going to be holding against New Orleans.
The one thing that Bum does not want his people to fall into is bad habits. They're ahead. They should be excited and get on with playing.
So Greg Bingham, who is having the penalty option explained to him, he's going to take the 10-yarder, I'm sure. Tucson Tyler checks back out. Jack Holmes replaces him. And now Rogers is going to come off.
Holding, number 67, offense, repeat, second down.
That's Stan Brock. I had a nice visit with Brock before the game. He was telling me about your old teammate Jack Youngblood, how smart a player he is.
Yeah.
Said he fooled him a couple of times.
Yeah, Jack will do that every once in a while. He'll give you different looks, do different things, and kind of lull you to sleep and then turn it loose on you.
Second down, 19, 10-18 left in this game. 24-17. The Saints with the lead. Manning the throw. Jack Holmes, and Holmes is back to the original line of scrimmage plus a yard. So it's going to come to a third down and still 9 yards to go. That's been a good play for them, right over the middle to Holmes.
Yeah, they let the defenders drop into their coverages and get set, and then they delay a back coming out over the middle, and all he does is go to the open area on the field. There's no really designated area. He just goes to a space where there is no Oilers.
Manning, percentage-wise, excellent in this game. He's 10 of 12, 114 yards, and there's the time left. Third down and 9, and again, really noisy here in the Astrodome. The blitz over the middle to Larry Hardy, first down. Hardy to the 45-yard line of Houston. Hartwig in Brazil, and Manning has on a couple of occasions in this game really thrown the ball over the middle effectively.
You know, it's funny that with the amount of great runners that we have in the game doing so well on the ground, the game could very well be decided by plays just like this.
Larry Hardy, haven't heard an awful lot about this young man. He had a brother, he was a guard for the San Francisco 49ers. He only started 3 games last year, but he started them this year. Obie Brenner, the rookie, is the other tight end. They cut Brooks Williams a couple of weeks ago. First down from the 45 of Houston. Rogers. Rogers this time a yard, and that's all. Greg Bingham. Boy, Bingham has a bunch of tackles. Last week he had 12 tackles. Any question that he's the leader of that defensive corps.
Gary, you know, when you're in a 34 defense, Bingham plays the inside on the 34. So when you get plays that are run to the outside, it strings out the defense a little bit, which makes a lot of natural holes for Bingham to pop in and make a lot of plays. He makes an awful lot of inside plays from his position.
Second down and 9. In motion goes Hardy. Manning pumping, faking. Hardy again. Did he get it? Hardy held on to it. I had to wait and see.
What a great catch.
Boy, he was belted instantaneously, but was able to latch on. That'll be a first down to the 25.
Here's great concentration. Larry Hardy, pass all the way. He makes that motion to get the linebacker to go over there. Then he sees Hardy clear. Not clear, but he sees Hardy and gets the ball to him. That's great concentration on Larry's part.
I say Hardy's a tough guy. I believe it after that catch. 3 for 39. He now has 18 catches for the year. Boy, that penalty looks big now, doesn't it?
Boy,
from the 25. Here's Rogers. Rogers backing in this time, picking up a couple of yards. George finding it really tough to run. Darrell Hunt, who's the number 2 tackler on this team, the former Oklahoma standout, made the tackle, and it's second down and 8 yards to go. 3 penalties in this game. All of them pass interferences against Houston. Set up 1 touchdown, The last one got the Saints out of a jam. Here, Philadelphia, 13-10. The Eagles are the best record in football.
That has not been an easy game for Philadelphia,
Well,
as you might want to expect.
Even though they've won 13 in a row over the Giants, it's been tough sledding. Here's Manning on an option to Rodgers. Boy, that's a new wrinkle.
Oh, boy, Gary, that is very dangerous. That is very dangerous. You can do it if you know for a fact that the defense isn't really expecting it, but to have it a part of your offensive game plan is suicide. He just runs down the line of scrimmage here, hoping to see if he might be able to tuck it away and run himself or give it to George. I think he made the right decision here.
Boy, I do too. Tell you though, Adams and Brock really controlled the line of scrimmage for him, so he could run that option. Rodgers coming out, he has 142 yards, 28 carries. Brilliant game again by this young man from South Carolina. Third down now, 8 yards to go. The crowd's starting to get to their feet. Here's a little flea flicker. Guido Merkins is going to have to run it now, and he didn't do anything. Guido Merkins, who can play quarterback, that time had nobody open, and he just got back. Well, he really lost a couple of yards on the play.
After Archie handed the ball back off to Guido, Archie went out to the sideline as if he was going to go down the field as a receiver. You can do that.
Tell you what, though, that play was really defensed well by Houston. So Ricardo will come in. Ricardo, 1 of 2 in this game. He hit a field goal with seconds left in that first half of 46 yards, and he's had 1 block. And this is going to be a 43-yard attempt. It's got the distance. It's good. And Benny Ricardo adds 3 points to the Saints' cause, and they're back to a 10-point lead, 27-17. So Ricardo has really recovered effectively from that first blocked field goal to come back and kick 2 pressure-packed 3-pointers.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special.
Alex, I'm just coming out to look for you greenhorns.
We took a little detour.
Little detour for what?
Well, we want to say thank you for putting up with us these last couple of weeks.
So we stopped at the store and picked up some loan ground. By golly, you city folks are all right.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be low and brown.
We had such a good time, we're coming back next year. Okay, but don't tell my horses that.
Radio Shack makes Christmas dreams come true. Whether it's on the track or off or on maneuvers, your kids control all the action with our incredible radio control toys. With an easy-to-operate transmitter, drive a race car, put a motorcycle through its paces, or even control a robot. Excitement for kids and grown-ups, too. 11 different fun-filled radio-controlled action toys priced $11.95 to $69.95. Only at Radio Shack, your Christmas electronics store.
A 10-point lead now. Russell Orkslaven getting ready to kick off. Back deep, Tullis along with Carl Roaches. 5:01. There's still time for Houston. Stabler might need another 50-yard touchdown pass, but he's already done it once.
He's very capable, Gary.
He's played catch-up in his career a couple of times, I would think. Orkslaven kicked it short. Tullis to the 20, 25, look out, to the 40-yard line, and he gives him excellent field position. 60 yards away is where Houston will set it up. And tonight on CBS starts with 60 Minutes, and then Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke star in Walt Disney's Academy Award-winning hit, Mary Poppins. It's all tonight on CBS. Fred is anxiously awaiting that show tonight.
I have never seen Mary Poppins, and I am really looking forward to this.
From the 40, first down, Houston. Stabler. Campbell, 45 to the 47-yard line. It'll be 3 yards short of the first down. And now Karl Mock, who's in at center, runs back, and he's got them formed into a huddle in a hurry. Houston has all 3 of their timeouts remaining. 4.5 minutes left in this game. Second down, 2. Make it a long 2. Looking at New Orleans, they have Poe back deep. Also Myers, Johnny Poe, Dave Waymer, and Russell Gary. They'll have to be conscious of the long pass. Instead, they cross him up, give to Campbell, and he has the first down to the New Orleans 46-yard line.
Gary, they want to use the clock to their advantage, and they want to get in the end zone, but they don't want to dilly-dally and use up too much of the clock after they get 7 points, because then they won't have enough opportunity to get the ball back from New Orleans and then get a field goal to tie it up.
The score here, the onside kick would be in the offing. 3:45. Burrow, Holston, split out to the bottom of the screen. Stabler back, has time, hits Campbell again. He falls down, and he'll lose a couple of 3 yards. Earl has been thrown to a lot today. That time he just got his feet tangled up. And with 3:24, they lose some valuable time along with the yardage. Second down, 12.
Well, Kenny looking downfield doesn't really see too much, and then turns around to his left here and just gets the ball to Earl. Watch where the ball's thrown, out in front of him. That's where it should be. Now get upfield, but he slips and falls down.
Second and 12. Campbell, the only running back behind Ken Stabler. Stabler going deep. Kenny Burrow. He's got it. Everyone has it inside the 25 to the 23. First down, and the Oilers are still alive in this football game. Timeout by Houston.
This is a very nice pass pattern. You see they run from the slot. Kenny comes down, he looks inside, slows up, and then breaks to the outside. And the ball is perfectly thrown. That's what I mean by having a quarterback who's confident in himself as well as his receivers.
Coming into this game, Ken Burrow needed only 47 yards to be the all-time leading receiver for Houston. We'll check that in a moment.
Toyota asked to compare their 82 four-wheel drive truck to our dirt bike. We're both tough going up mountain roads. Toyota should be. It's got one of the biggest engines in its class. And he looks pretty comfortable in there, too. Oh, come on, Toyota. The last part of the test where you carry us, then we carry you. Give me a break.
Oh, what a feeling.
The 4x4. It'll get you to the top. Comfortably.
Toyota.
Okay, units, travel plans. I need to be in New York on Monday, LA on Tuesday, New York on Wednesday, LA on Thursday, New York on Friday. Got it. So you want to work here? What really makes you think you deserve a job here?
Well, sir, I think I might fit. I'm good at figures and I have a sharp mind.
Excellent. Can you start on Monday? And in conclusion, Jim, Bill, Bob, call Fred, load, dork, 8 and 10. Business is business, so let's get to work. Thank you for taking me meeting. Petey, you did a bang-up job. I'm putting you in charge of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, perfect. I know it's perfect, Peter. That's why I picked Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's perfect, Peter. May I call you Pete? Congratulations on your deal in Denver, Dave. I'm putting you down to deal with Dallas.
In this fast-moving, get-it-done-yesterday world, aren't you glad there's one company that can keep up with it all? Federal Express. And it absolutely positively has to be there overnight.
Tonight, a 3-hour CBS special movie presentation. It's Walt Disney's Academy Award-winning hit, Mary Poppins.
A 26-yard completion to Ken Burrow. Sets it up at the 23-yard line. First down, Houston. 2:54 left in the game. You see the score. Holston split out to the bottom. Burrow to the top. Stabler. His team down by 10. Stabler avoids the rush somehow, and we have a penalty flag thrown. Penalty flag is thrown. The intended receiver was Ken Burrow, and Stabler shaken up.
I think you got a roughing the passer penalty here.
Kenny really took a shot that time.
Yeah. On Monty Bennett, I think you might see 15 yards here for roughing.
And that stops the clock with 2:46. This game a long ways from over.
It is important. It is important they get the ball in the end zone as quick as they can.
Discussion going on. Amazing how Stabler, for a guy that's not able to run, does a pretty good job staying back there and staying alive.
Boy, you're right. He does.
A little slipping of the punches, so to speak, back there. He slips by some of those tacklers.
Kenny goes up to the referee now to make sure that the referee understands there's a roughing.
All right. Wait a minute. Not quite ready to go on Mike yet. Got to pick up the flag. And also step off the penalty. I tell you, these guys have a tough job out there, you know.
They really do.
And so they're going to move it to the 12-yard line where it'll be first down.
Pass interference. Defense is declined. Personal foul, roughing the passer. Number 91 defense is accepted. Half the distance, automatic first down.
That was Monty Bennett. There he is, out of Kansas State.
Bum realized those things are going to happen. Monty's a rookie. He's excited, and it's an important game to win.
Ken Stabler's been busy in this quarter. To the 5-yard line. And being swarmed under that time is Holston, the rookie. You see where they mark it. They're going to go without a huddle. They're going to mark the ball at the 7-yard line. Didn't gain all that much. Well, they gained 5 yards. 2nd and 5 there. They can pick up a 1st and goal at the 1. Stabler back again. Same route, same result. Holston this time just inside the 5. And now Stabler asks for a timeout. And Houston has 1 left. 3rd down still and 3 yards to go at the 4-yard line.
What he's trying to do now is he's trying to throw under the defense, throw the ball off to get a guy open so he can take the ball and then turn upfield and get the next 3 or 4 yards into the end zone.
We'll be back. The remaining 2:16 in a moment.
This isn't just my job, it's my life. For me, nothing comes close. Nothing comes close to my skull either. I just take a little pinch and put it between my cheek and gum. Sure feels good. I think going smokeless is the only way to go. And for me, Earl Campbell, this is the only way to spend an afternoon. Skull, brother.
Enjoy tobacco without lighting up. Try Skoal, Copenhagen, or Happy Days. A pinch is all it takes.
What's happened to service in America? The dictionary says it's the performance of labor for the benefit of another. But Ava says it in 3 words. We try harder, right? It means honoring reservations, giving the best rates, checking their cars for safety and comfort. You see, Avis believes that you should get good service simply because you paid for it. Trying harder is still the best way to do business.
We have a correction to make due to some transmission problems. We had a score that was not correct. This is the correct score. The Giants are leading Philadelphia in the 4th quarter, 20-10. Well, what a shocker that would be.
That does not surprise me. The Giants have been a very good football team the last 3 weeks.
The score here is 27-17, 2:16 left to go. 3rd down and 3 for Houston. They give up the middle. Coleman. That's Coleman carrying the ball to the 1. Now that should be a 1st and goal for him. They just needed to get there. It is going to be, I believe, a 1st and goal at about the half-yard line. But with 2:08, that's what it is. Now Biles saying, hurry up, get a play off before the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, he's right. He wants to get the ball in there before the 2-minute warning.
But they're not going to do it. They do not have time to do that. And so the 2-minute warning is here. And the situation will be...
Fortunately, I've never had that problem. So choosing a home videotape recorder was relatively easy. I chose the Sony Betamax, for when I observed how it performed so many complex technological functions with such ease and simplicity, I no longer saw a machine. I saw genius.
The genius of Betamax, only from Sony.
Prepare yourself for a little shock. This year, many traditional full-size cars are no longer full-size cars. This one is. Marquis from Lincoln Mercury. Marquis gives you all the comfort you need, plus the kind of smooth ride that makes driving a pleasure. Marquis from Lincoln Mercury. Can you see yourself riding in anything less?
Now through the National Championship, NCAA basketball on CBS Sports.
Well, if Houston wants to keep their playoffs hopes alive, Fred Dreyer, they need to get it in right now and then try the onside kick.
Eddie Biles said Saturday, Gary, that they have to win this game if they expect to go to a playoff or have any type of a shot at it, which means they got to score on this next play.
The 2-minute warning has just been completed. Stabler has him at the line of scrimmage to Earl Campbell, and Campbell will take it in. Earl Campbell. And now with a chance to cut it to 3 will be Tony Frisch. Earl Campbell having a very big day in this game.
Good fire off by the offensive line, and Earl just takes it outside. He's not going to go up the middle where everybody is. That's where everybody expected him to go. He just goes and glides on in for 6.
Made it look easy. And now Tony Frisch to kick. Gifford Nielsen, who's been activated this week, back to hold. And Tony Frisch has cut it to 3 points, 27 to 24 with 1:57 left in this game. So when we come back after this break, look for the onside kick.
Alcoa presents Fantastic Finishes. 1967, 15 degrees below zero in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The Packers trail the Cowboys by 3. The field is a sheet of ice as Bart starts the ball and sneaks into the end zone for the score. Who made the block that sprung him? Right guard Jerry Kramer against massive Jethro Pugh. The Packers win 21-17 and claim the NFL championship.
Alcoa can't wait.
Since time began, nature has demonstrated the wisdom of recycling. In rain that falls to the earth, travels to the sea, and rises to the clouds again. Now, man must learn to recycle too. At Alcoa, we've already started by initiating programs that are saving billions of aluminum cans every year. Raw materials and energy too. Recycling, we're simply doing what nature has always done.
We can't wait for tomorrow. Alcoa can't wait.
Well, we mentioned Campbell having a big day, but he still doesn't have 100 yards. He's at 96, which would mean if he doesn't gain any more, it'd be the 6th straight game he hasn't got over 100 yards. The longest siege of his career. But he has scored 3 touchdowns today. And here comes Tony Frisch. And this is something that you work on a lot in practice, the onside kick.
Well, kickers who really work at this, it really shows during the game. And I think everybody, including the Saints, are expecting an onside kick. Let's see what type of onside kick they give us.
27-24, a minute 57 left. You got everybody at the top of your screen. Only one man down below. That's Carter Hartwig. Here we go. The onsider, and the New Orleans Saints have recovered. Coming up with it, looks like Tommy Myers, the veteran safety, and that's who it is. Myers with the good hands, and now at the 47. That's where the Saints will have it, and there's what we were talking about. Campbell right now in danger of going 6 straight games without gaining 100 yards. And also, the New Orleans defense has not given up 100 yards to anyone back this year.
That is really impressive. I'm really impressed. This is the 12th game of the season, and I'll tell you, they have done a great job all year on defense.
First down at the 47-yard line, and now the Saints will be content to just eat up the clock. Up the middle comes Holmes. 1 timeout remaining for the Houston Oilers. Ken Kennard made the stop. With a loss here today, the Oilers are dropped to 5-7, out of the playoff picture for all intents and purposes for the first time in 4 years. On the other hand, New Orleans with a win here, 4 wins after having only 1 last year. And New Orleans is going to be tough the remaining 4 weeks.
It's not so much that they've only got 4 wins, but I'll tell you that the way they've played is very, very important.
Only 1 game recently. That was the Atlanta game where they're out of. They played tough in every one of them. This is Holmes again. Greg Bingham making the stop. You see the time remaining. Boy, what a win this is for Bum Phillips, coming back to his own home territory. A lot was made of it. Bum beat him in the preseason, now going to do it in the regular season.
A win like this, especially for Bum under the situations that he's in, will last this team probably a couple, 2 or 3 weeks. They can glide in, not so much glide in, but this will carry over in their play for the next couple of weeks.
They return home next week against Tampa Bay. Next week, the other hand, Atlanta's here, meeting the Houston Oilers. Manning off to Wayne Wilson, and Wilson inside the 35. That'll be a first down, and that did it. If there was any doubt, it's over now. And the congratulations on the sideline Bum Phillips, Tommy Myers, George Rogers. A happy group.
Boy, I'll tell you.
There's John Meekum, the owner, down there now, right behind Bum. Well, we have been giving you scores throughout the day. We're going to get some highlights of some of those scores from Brent Musburger and Irv Cross in New York. As this game is over, the New Orleans Saints have come in to the Houston Oilers' backyard, the Astrodome, and come away with a 3-point win, 27-24. And Fred, they came in here against a team that I think really felt that this could be a very pivotal point of their season. They thought if they could win today, they'd keep their playoff hopes going, but also put away the ghost of Bum Phillips. They did not put away the ghost of Bum Phillips at all.
It's very, very tough on an organization to have so much sentiment in their hometown for a visiting coach, especially when it comes in and wins a game like this. And I'm happy for Bum. I'm happy for his program. But both sides have a lot of great football players on them. And look at this is what's interesting. Look how many players come over and shake his hand and want to be a part of this man. He's affected a lot of people's lives. And when he left, I think he took an awful lot of emotions with him.
I think that's a very good point. So Bum Phillips building a new regime in New Orleans, and it's on its way back with a 27-24 win. For Fred Dreyer, this is Gary Bender. We've enjoyed it, and now let's go to New York and join Brent Musburger.
All right, Gary, thank you so much. Back in New York, along with Irv Cross, you gotta feel happy for Bum Phillips today, Irv.
Boy, what a homecoming. You knew darn well, you know, the Houston Oilers crowd had to be somewhat split. You know, there's a strong allegiance towards Bum, but on the other hand, they wanted their home team to win.
Yeah, you know, Irv, I heard some cheering down there when New Orleans was scoring. I gotta tell you the truth on that one. Let's take you to the scoreboard now and get you up to date with everything else that's going on. The legend, Eric Hipple, has done it again, and the Lions are about to break through and win for the first time this year on the road. And here it is, Irv, and Vince Evans wasn't throwing well.
Boy, I tell you, he did have a bad day. James Hunter picks this one off and sets up a scoring opportunity for his club. And there's Murray now with 11 men on the field hitting a field goal, right?
It is first three, and then the Bears, they had 0 yards passing in the first half, but this interception by Todd Bell, the rookie from Ohio State, then dashed 92 yards, made it 9-7 at the half, and at least Chicago was in the game, but then Irv in the second half, Hipple took charge again.
Boy, I tell you, what a year he's having. Hipple connecting this time with Freddie Scott. This one down inside the 5-yard line, setting up another Lion scoring opportunity.
How many quarterbacks run like this right here for a touchdown?
Well, he's the only one in the league who can do this right now. It's no college option play. This time he keeps, doesn't push the ball off, goes in for the score.
Again, they're in the fourth period down there. If he keeps that up, though, he's going to have some hip injuries later. You can't do that long in that league. Tampa Bay a winner today. Easy over Green Bay, 37-3. The Buccaneers are now 6-6. They are in the chase for the wild card. David Whitehurst was forced out because of an injury, so Rich Campbell stepped in, and Cedric Brown picked him clean and dashed in for the touchdown. 81 yards out, and folks, it was never a contest after that. They went to James Owens, and watch this 35-yard run. I mean, the Red Sea just parted, and Owens went in. Now, Doug Williams was directing traffic. He had time. His offensive line gave it to him. Drilled T.O. Bell on that touchdown, and the Packers were just back on their heels all game long. Doug pulled out, went right over the top to Jimmy Giles, and they made it look easy. 37-3 was the final in that game. Buffalo over New England, an unbelievable turnaround. Just 10 seconds to go in that game. The Patriots were on defense, and Joe Ferguson pulled out. He threw a 36-yard pass intended for Frank Lewis. The ball was tipped up in the air. Roland Hooks pulled it down for a touchdown, and Chuck Knox pulls one out. 20-17 is the final. And, of course, the homecoming for Bum Phillips' a success, 27-24. The Saints and Bum over Houston and Ed Biles today in that one. And Cincinnati made it easy, 38-21. How about these Bengals? They may wind up in the Super Bowl. And that is now a final score, 38-21. The NFL Today continues on CBS in just a moment.
Introducing the 1982 American Motor Spirit. Any car car could rust under 30 feet of salt water, but we're showing it to make a point. Only the tough Americans from American Motors give you Z-Bart factory rust protection and a full 5-year no-rust-through warranty. So when you hear durability claims for other high-mileage cars this year, just remember who backs their claim with the only 5-year warranty. More tough action from American Motors.
Dial-It has national sports news. It's more than rational just to call National Sports for all the latest reports. We're talking national sports news. We've got it all. 900. What a wonderful call. 900-976-1313.
At 50 cents a call, I keep up on sports.
Dial-It. We're talking to you. Unleash the spirit.
For men who seek freedom above and beyond the ordinary comes Blue Stratos Cologne, made to unleash the free spirit in man. Brisk, bold, adventurous. It's a feeling experienced only with Blue Stratos.
Unleash the spirit.
Blue Stratos.
Made to unleash the free spirit.
The free spirit in you.
Next weekend, get into the spirit as NCAA basketball premieres on CBS Sports. Join in the excitement next Saturday for regional action as the Michigan Wolverines, rebuilding their place in the Big Ten, take on one of the winningest teams in the country, the Arkansas Razorbacks. And the shooting skill of the Georgia Bulldogs is put to the test against the seasoned squad from the University of San Francisco. Now through the National Championship. Get into the spirit with NCAA basketball and CBS Sports.
Basketball next Saturday, but let me quickly update you on the rest of the scores. The Pittsburgh Steelers trying to stay up there with the Bengals now. They're going to win this one 32-10 over the Browns. It is now a final score. Pittsburgh wins it. The Giants over the Eagles 20-10. That sets up a possibility of the Dallas Cowboys moving back into a tie today with the Eagles in that division. Kansas City leading Seattle 27-13 in the fourth. St. Louis over Baltimore 21-17. The NFC could be back ahead of the AFC 19-17 if that score holds in that game. Miami and the Jets, San Francisco and the Rams, San Diego and Oakland just getting underway. Have a nice week, everybody. We'll see you next Saturday when NCAA basketball moves its tent to CBS. We hope you enjoy all the action. It starts at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. For Irvin Phillips and Jimmy the Greek, I'm Glenn Musburger. So long for New York.
You've been watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League. Thinking of fixing up your house? If you are, make sure you know what you're signing. Make sure they can't take your house away from you. Make sure you watch 60 Minutes this evening on CBS.